Good morning, everyone. This is Sibbe Bladh. The world is a fucking jungle. It's a nasty place with many scavengers and awful creatures. A lot of cowards and opportunists that make everything shitty for everyone, including themselves. You have to be strong in the jungle. Have to be dominant. You have to tear your enemies to pieces if you want any kind of harmony. Because everything is working to eat you down, to be an obstacle, to break you down. That is the test. The test is about to see who can stand in spite of all the resistance, all the opposition. Who can be strong? Who can be independent? Free will is the only thing that counts in the world. We have to do everything voluntarily. Because whenever you force someone to do anything, it's not real, it's not authentic from the heart. The person must have a wish themselves to do right, or to do whatever they are doing. You can't force them. And so it's about self-motivation. Taking responsibility for your reality and for your energy. We are defenders of the holy energy that lives inside of us. That's why you have to be like a warrior, because you defend the Holy Spirit, the consciousness of life. You are its guardian, and you cannot compromise whatsoever with a stupid, backwards world and their eternal power struggles. You have to be a more noble being than that, and to have more respect for yourself and love yourself more than that, to cooperate with that. You can't cooperate. You must exhibit your independence. Your willingness to fight. Your willingness to crush the opposition of anyone that stand against you. But you have to be smart and wise. You can't be a bully. You can't be unjust. You can't be evil. Then you will lose your own power. So you should go with a righteous rage, and you should be mad at the right time, when it's allowed to be that extremely mad, and to act completely beast-like, animalistic, Because there are times when these are allowed and you don't hurt your holy self. But we cannot be caught in a vibration of hate or even opposition. We have to be noble, high creatures of high principles and standards. Honorable people with big souls. And that comes by having a limit, a border, a barrier against the lower of things that you can't accept at your stage of being. Because all the lower behaviors, they come from confusion and ignorance and evil power, demonic power. These people are lost. They are not humans. They turn themselves into other nasty creatures. Humans are only the real top warriors of decency and order. Order are the Nordic gods, stand for the order of nature and cosmos, while the dark evil forces stand for the chaos and destruction of the universe and everything that is fruitful and good. That is the cosmic war, internal and external. But as a human, you can't bend, you can't bow, you cannot work together with those who don't wish you well or want to destroy you and your world. Right now in Sweden, the Prime Minister says that they refuse to stop immigration, even though the country is overloaded. All systems have broken down because of all this influx of hundreds of thousands of people. But there will be no stopping, he say. And you let these kind of illogical, deranged people run their agenda. Fucking embarrassing. And when you can't organize on a broader scale, like a people, you're about to be fucked. There's no getting away from that, for sure. They will fuck you totally, and it will be about the individual fight in the jungle for the lion, with all the jackals and hyenas surrounding them. The lion have to be strong. Anytime the lion showed the slightest sign of weakness, the whole fucking jungle attack. You see, that was how weak creatures work. They don't face a lion in its full potential. head to head. They sneak around and they try to make the lion weak, you see. And then if they get the lion down and he shows signs of weakness, the whole crowd attack. So if we knew how to work together, everything would be possible. And this stupid destruction of everything would not be possible. But now we are left on our own, fighting our own struggles. And this complete egotism, it suits the rulers. They know that people are separated, fighting their own struggles. So they're feeding you with your bills, your own bills and your own problems. And everybody become enemies or compete about the resources. The law of the jungle, you know. That's what we have. This is not the rule of law or civilization. This is a complete evil, confused society where basically everything is allowed that is harmful to nature. Sweden, which is a mass society with millions of people, people that live in the town are allowed to hunt, going out to the forests and killing animals. This right should be preserved only for the natives that live in the region, and it should not be allowed to kill many animals. Governments should back the fuck out of nature sometimes, because they're trying to control nature with all their smart thoughts. They just cut down the forest, use it as industry. These forests where we the natives have dwelled for thousands of years. This modern society tear everything down to feed their system and all the newcomers of the global mafia that is colonizing and settling in our lands. And truly, they have no mercy. They don't give a shit about us, natives. So the final stage for the natives are individual strength and honor in the jungle. Final outpost of our civilization. Everything else are lost. Now we're heading for a completely lawless, chaotic, dark age. We're going back to the dark ages with a lot of crime, injustice, murdering, violence, diseases, social injustice, wars, terror. We're going back to that now. Because this type of civilization that they tried to build has failed completely. And now we can see the result. Now we see the results after they have been doing this for 100 years. And the last 40 years, what they spoke about and what their plans And now they have done everything they planned, and now we see the results, which are complete lawlessness and chaos. This is the result of this kind of society. And if you let them push on 40 more years, you can imagine what would be left. Nothing at all. The whole of Scandinavia will be like the Sahara Desert. Just war and destruction, and all natural life dead and gone. Left with some kind of human race that live in a fantasy world. Harmful creatures. That is where we're heading, and we're halfway there. Right now it's a lot of killings, murdering, people getting murdered in Sweden a lot, and Denmark. And it can only lead to one thing, which is more civil unrest, more civil war, more internal conflicts. So there is no solution in sight. And all the fractions of thought and ideals, mostly of them are lost too, and extreme and fanatic in their own way, so they can't come to any solutions or any real progress or change. Any positive change can't happen. It can't happen. And now they suppress the male intellect and power so much, and it became a consensus culture, conformist culture, a collectivist culture, without spine, without morality. Because that is what the male power contribute, is principles and morality and limits to foolishness. Physical, violent limits to idiocy. Because the male is the protector of the human tribe. That's why it was so important for them to break down the male power, and to make the male to a subordinate creature. It's the biggest mistake they have done. But they don't get it, do they? Seems to be very hard to understand some basic facts about things. They have a big problem with that. And females are not good. They're not saints or angels. Even though society would like you to think that. It's not true. The female strategy and psychology is quite wicked, quite ruthless, quite fascist, very unfair behavior. built on lies and deception, because they are so pragmatic. And most of the unnecessary violence are created by women or other weaker people that use this strategy because of their sense of inferiority. It's mainly the woman that scream for war and unfair action, while men are more thinkers. They are deeper, more spiritual, and understand that you can't kill everything that disturbs you or attack every time. You have to be tactic, you have to think fair, you have to be a judge, not only a berserker. You have to be a noble man, a creature that understands justice and what's right and wrong. And that foundation, the modern society with the female power want to destroy this sense of justice and what's fair and replace it with emotional bullshit and gimmicks and harmful structures. And the males, the real males now, they go their own way. They don't want to participate in this game any longer. You have to remember, male is a dangerous creature. Just like the wolf or any other predator, male have violence built into their system, to their nerve system, into their brain, into their deepest psychology and spirituality. So man will never cooperate. How hard this confused female jungle world ever try, the male will never cooperate with anything, alright? And you can't change nature, you can only work with nature. As soon as you go against nature, you either destroy it or you fail, because it can't be changed. And they can try to leave out the male power out of the calculation, but it will backlash. It will backlash. Be sure of that. The jungle is what it is, and the smartest win. It's not those with biggest muscles that rule the world. It's those with the biggest brains that rule the world. Fact of life, you know. But it's a tricky situation we have. And the fires just seem to burn more intense all the time. Conflict seems to increase all the time. And when this hate are boiling to a certain point, war erupts. Always, always. And mankind haven't learned yet. They go in the same trap over and over and over again. And then they rebuild everything after the wars. And a lot of hyenas and other awful people make money out of the war and the depressions and the problems. So it's a vicious cycle, spiraling down instead of spiraling us up to a higher frequency, to a higher DNA, to a higher connection, to a higher creature, where we are supposed to head. It's a backward motion now, backward spin. And it will be tough in the future, because mankind is they always do this shit. Ethnic cleansing, social injustice, oppression, dictatorships, all this seems to be inherent in their illusionary minds, that they create this every time. And whatever good exists, it's temporary. It happens spontaneously from then to then. But it's not the main foundation in this project. This project is about complete destruction of everything human and turning into robots. The dehumanization, depersonalization is about entering the robot age. The AI, artificial intelligence, will be implanted in the humans. And this step to dissolve all kind of human mind and decency and structure, natural structure, was a part of killing the human self-identification, so that they would freely accept the robot age as an like a natural evolution out of their misery. And all of this, of course, is the total opposite of the divine spirit that grows in nature and man. This ancient power is love, the deepest love. When people fall in love, they feel a little bit of what this power is about. It's the eternal love, which is the opposite of this that is going on right now, and where they are heading. They are heading to the dark regions. So you have to stay with the true spirit and be true to yourself, true to your power and your strength, and never bend, never bow. Remember, this is a jungle of idiots. Always have to be strong, independent, smart, wise, and loving, and fair. Alright, take care everybody. Bless.